What's up, everybody? So when we first started wholesaling, we thought that wholesaling was going to make us rich until we realized that we actually built ourselves high-paying jobs instead of generational wealth. So the moment that we stopped wholesaling, everything changes. When we went from being an elementary level of real estate to graduating to the middle school and high school of real estate and started doing buy and hold deals. We developed what we call the jacket strategy and went from making $10,000 wholesale fees to creating over $100,000 of gross profit per deal while also building true passive income. I'm going to show you exactly why we did it. I'm also going to tell you exactly why we quit wholesaling to double down the strategy. For all of you that don't know me, my name is Philip Loudon. Over the past 5 years, me and my team have completed over 200 real estate transactions. We've successfully done over 60 wraparound mortgages, contract for deeds, seller financing deals, lease options, and we raised a lot of private capital to help us in this process of building this portfolio. We built a portfolio worth around $13 million, and we've helped dozens of students create their first passive income streams through seller financing. But what most people don't know is that for a long time, we were stuck in the hamster wheel of wholesaling. And the shift I'm going to share with you today is what really broke us out of that mold of being wholesalers and allowed for us to commit to this exit strategy so we could double down on it and really build up our portfolio. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through why we abandoned wholesaling, what the jacket strategy is, and how you can transition from making one-time wholesale fees to building a portfolio that generates mailbox money every single month. I'll show you this blueprint that we follow, the key relationships you need, and why this strategy is the fastest path to what we call tier one financial freedom. At that point, your life will change forever once you have $10,000 a month of passive residual income coming in. The problem we discovered was when we were wholesaling, we thought we were building a real estate business. We got into real estate to build generational wealth, a life of freedom, and a better future for our families. After 2 years of grinding, we realized something that changed everything. We had created expensive jobs for ourselves. Here's what a typical month looked like when we were wholesaling. 80% of our energy went to direct to seller marketing. We were talking to extremely challenging sellers. We were selling to buyers. I was working as the main closer, working 10-hour days on the phones. And my business partner, Bryce, was drowning in transaction coordinator work. We were moving around large amounts of money, but we were keeping scraps for ourselves. We were doing 6 wholesales every single month. 1 month would go by and we would get no deals and all our liquidity, boom, gone. All we were doing was paying ourselves, paying our team, paying for marketing. The numbers were big, but our expenses were high and the margins were slim. Most of our properties weren't even in our buy box. We're actually just helping other investors build wealth while we stayed broke. So as we started scaling our wholesaling operation, we started finding these creative financing deals. We followed Pace Morby, we followed other creative finance gurus, and we started to lock up properties sub 2, lock up properties with seller financing, lock up hybrid deals. And we learned how to sell those houses on seller financing. And when we did that, we turned what would have been a $5,000 wholesale into $150,000 of gross profit over 7 years, plus $500 to $1,000 a month in cash flow. And this is real cash flow, not rental cash flow. Because reality is people do rentals thinking that they're going to build cash flow and build freedom. And the reality, rentals have capital expenditure. Things break. You have to repair it. You have vacancy, headaches with tenants. All of these things make rentals pretty challenging, especially as an entry-level strategy. And that's why selling on wraps and lease options are our favorite entry-level strategy. Our cash flow is true cash flow. We don't get calls from tenants. The families we sell to have ownership mindset. We are landlords and not landlords. And we can also help families gain access to home ownership while we get to sit back and collect cash flow. It is in every single way better than rentals for your entry-level strategy. And I'll talk about this in a future video, but let's stay focused here on how we transition from wholesaling to becoming buy and hold investors. We started this type of deal and did 1, 2, and we were like, wow, we fell in love with it. The families, a lot of them were first generation Americans. They were gaining access to their first home in the United States. They were achieving the American dream by gaining access to home ownership. And we also 10x, 15x, 25x the lifetime value of our product and started building passive residual income. And the feeling that passive residual income creates is a feeling of lightness, right? You start to have this money coming in, and every house you do, every $1,000 a month, it feels absolutely incredible. And we fell in love with that. At that point, we were trying to fit everything into seller finance, sub two, hybrid structure on the acquisition side. And the reality is that not everyone is in the right situation to sell their house on seller financing, to sell sub two. And we realized that all of these cash deals were coming across our plate and we weren't able to capitalize on them at all. We found some local mentors. We decided to partner with a local mentor and figure out how we can start renovating, refinancing, and then selling on seller financing. This is where we discovered the jacket strategy. Instead of just buying, rehabbing, renting, refinancing, repeat, we buy, rehab, refinance, and then we sell on seller financing. And here is the exact blueprint that we follow. Here's how we replaced ourselves in the business, cut off wholesaling, and began to be buy and hold investors. So a quick caveat, just in entrepreneurship in general, you are always constantly elevating yourselves to higher dollar per hour tasks. When we first started, I was text message marketing, calling sellers, learning sales. That was the highest dollar per hour task available to me. As we grew, we hired a texter. As we grew, we hired a follow-up specialist. As we grew, we hired a closer. I was constantly elevating myself. But in wholesaling, we got caught in transaction coordination and sales. We could be doing higher dollar per hour tasks. We could be doing deal structuring. We could be working with limited partners. We could be figuring out how to scale this. But we were stuck in the day-to-day minutia and we built ourselves really high-paying jobs. So this is when we discovered the jacket. We partnered with a few people to start learning how to do the strategy. Those partnerships were giant dumpster fires. One turned into a lawsuit. But the reality is when I start doing something new, I'm either going to hire a mentor or work for free for somebody or partner with somebody so I can learn. I don't want to start doing renovations or doing buy and hold deals on my own unless I feel very confident it's going to work. My strategy is hiring mentorship or working together. So what we do is we stop cold calling sellers. We transitioned to building relationships with wholesalers who bring us deals. We had one full-time customer relationship manager who talked to wholesalers, worked with them, figured out how to structure the deal so it works for us, and then we would buy directly from the wholesalers. We then connected with experienced flippers who eventually became our GCs. We found a key person and we incorporated who, not how into our entire business. We worked with wholesalers. We worked with the GC. We would buy cash from wholesalers using hard money. We would renovate using our trusted GC. We would refinance with DSCR lenders, and then we would seller finance the properties using long-term lease options to our end buyers. So let me break down a recent deal for you and walk you through all the numbers that happened on this deal. So we bought this house from a wholesaler for $116,000. We put $30,000 into this property until the payoff amount was $146,000.95. The property appraised for $220 ARV. We ended up getting $30,000 of cash out on this deal. When we refinanced, we got cash out, which is amazing. That's bonus. That's free money. We sold this property for $249,900. We got $20,000 down, 9% interest, and a monthly payment of $21.68. Over here, you can see that we made $500 per month of upfront cash flow. And then our 7-year profit, the family sells or refinances in 7 years, our profit is $96,895. And if they never sell or refinance, if this property goes for 30 years, then we will have made $189,692 in total gross profits on one deal. This is a property that we bought from a wholesaler. This is a property that the wholesaler made a few $1,000s on, and we're turning this into at least $100,000 in gross profit over 7 years. This is the magic of these deals. It wasn't a super big rehab. We got cash out on the deal, and we also got to sell it for a very healthy profit. Remember, we're not paying agent commissions. We're not paying closing costs. We are able to make deals way more profitable than it would be as a flip, as it would be as a rental, as it would be as a wholesale. This is one of the most profitable exit strategies that you can do right now. And if you guys want a copy of our Deal Maker underwriting tool, we have a Deal Maker light version that we have for all of our YouTube subscribers. To subscribe, look in the comments. There'll be a link there for you to join and get access to this tool. Imagine doing this 10 times. You now have $5,000 of cash flow coming in every single month. That's if you only have $500 a month in cash flow per property. In reality, you can get more than that. So $5,000 per month coming in, plus you have this skill set to know how to do this type of deal. When we were wholesaling, I was on the phone with sellers all day. Now I just do high-level deal structuring, work with our limited partners, work with other partners, work remotely, live overseas, My business partner spent 6 months in Thailand with his newborn. That is the kind of freedom this model creates. We are lifestyle entrepreneurs. We want to build a life of freedom, feel we can do whatever we want to do within our lives and serve a purpose bigger than ourselves and connect with whatever sets our souls on fire. So we believe that you're just 10 houses away from tier one financial freedom. Do 10 deals like I just showed you. You have 5,000 to 9,000 per month in mailbox money. And that's when life takes on that next level. You stop living from need and urgency and you start creating space to align with what sets your soul on fire. If you're currently wholesaling and you're ready to start building generational wealth, instead of just sticking to transaction by transaction capital coming in, I want to make this transition easy for you. I've created a complete system that teaches everything I've shared today, how to find deals, how to underwrite them properly, and shows you step-by-step about how to implement the Jack strategy or how to start implementing wraps, contract for deeds, seller finance deals into your portfolio so you start building that residual income. Check out the link in the description, book a sales strategy call, figure out how you can tap in to start learning more about this model because this is the blue ocean of single family real estate. There's a large and hungry demographic wanting to buy houses that the banks will not finance. That is who we help and who we serve. It is a blue ocean, and blue oceans do not last forever. Blue oceans are there for short periods of time, and then people learn about it and everyone starts doing it. I've already seen this happen in certain markets. This is a huge opportunity available right now. Wholesaling taught us absolutely incredible skills, how to build a team, how to underwrite deals, how to do sales, how to find leads. These are the things that no one can ever take away from you. You can keep wholesaling and still implement this strategy as well. But remember why you got into real estate in the first place. It was to build generational wealth. It's so easy for entrepreneurs to trap themselves into high-paying jobs. And that's what we must disrupt. That's what we must move past. And the way you do that is by creating monthly recurring revenue. Find the balance, hold some assets, create the freedom you dreamed of when you first started, because it is possible. It is right there in front of you, and you've already developed a lot of the most challenging skills. Drop a comment below. Let me know. Are you ready to stop trading time for money? What's stopping you? Who's ready to start building wealth? Thank you guys for listening. If you made it this far, subscribe to our YouTube channel, join our school, reach out to me directly because there's a revolution happening in real estate, and this is the space for it. Thank you.